Welcome to Cbfu from the Shop, our Thanksgiving episode.
Oh, gobble gobble.
Racially
insensitive. Isaac. My favorite Isaac.
Ray, why don't you start us with our books for this week?
Alright, I'm going to start us off with a new image book, Ringside, by Joe Keating and Nick Barber on art. I was excited for this book because I'm a wrestling fan, and it's supposed to be kind of like almost like an insider, like a worker's look into wrestling, like one of the wrestlers. And it was alright, like I enjoyed it, but it's very slow moving, and if you are a wrestling fan, you will probably enjoy it. But if you're not a wrestling fan, you're probably going to get lost in something. They don't use a lot of advanced terminology, but there is some terminology that you're going to be like, what? It's cool though. It is about like an old timer, really, retired, kind of doing some stuff in Japan, as like it kind of happens in real life too. And he is trying, and he comes back to the States to do a favor. Well, I guess a friend of his, or maybe a family member, you don't really know for sure, is in trouble, and he's coming back to the States to help him. Kind of visits other old-time wrestlers that are in like the big promotion that he had like falling out with. And it goes from there, you know, he gets into some trouble in the end, so it leads into whatever the actual arc is going to be. And like I said, it's slow moving, like it's really slow. As I was reading, and I was like, there's no way Simon and Isaac are going to like this. But if you are a wrestling fan, you probably will like it, and so read it. If you're a wrestling fan, you should definitely like give it a go. There's like a lot of like old timer terms, like them telling, like the old timer tells a younger kid that's there to save his money. And if you have ever listened to like a podcast with a bunch of old wrestlers, you hear a lot of old wrestlers tell their advice to younger wrestlers is always save your money, kid, because you're gonna eat shit one day. It's not gonna last forever if it even happens for you. So it's cool in that regard, but very, very slow moving. And if you're not a wrestling fan, it's a little bit tough.
Yeah, no, I'm not a wrestling fan. Nah. So I started this book, so what am I reading?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's just really slow. I guess if you are a wrestling fan, like you are, you can get more out of it. But for me, it wasn't enough to draw my attention.
I'm like really surprised they actually even like printed this book. Honestly, I mean, like, and that's not to say it's bad, but I'm like, it's so specific.
Yeah, it's like inside.
It's really such a specific audience. I think that it'd be hard for just like a comic book fan to get into it.
I guess for Image is like, I guess the pitch would be like wrestling is like an Ed Brubaker Noir kind of thing, and that's the selling point, I guess. And I'm sure there's an audience for that. There's probably a very big audience.
Yeah,
for that, if they can find that audience. If they can find that audience.
And the art's actually like not bad, you know.
Yeah, no.
It gets a little iffy at some points, but overall I enjoyed it a lot.
It reminded me a little bit like Ed Brubaker and his, Sean Phillips, their work on like Criminal and everything.
Oh, right,
that kind of like style.
Yeah. That said, for me, I would give it a 7 out of 10, but I'm gonna go with like just the general comic book review, and I'll give it probably maybe 5 out of 10 Lugos, just because I don't think it could really reach like a whole broad audience. Yeah.
Okay, our next book, this is a new Vertigo #1. This is Jack #1. This is by Eric Kripke and John Higgins. Eric Kripke was one of the creators of Supernatural, and this is another of the new Vertigo books. They've been launching a number of new books, and this one I had a good time with. It reminds me almost like of sort of like a AMC, HBO, what would be a series of them, a little violenter take on a wish fulfillment of becoming like a superhero and everything. It's about a guy who's in a midlife crisis. His relationship with his wife isn't going well. He's lost his job. His kids don't respect him. And then he takes this pill which gives him like superpowers, almost like an Hour Man kind of thing. Yeah. But almost like an adult Hour Man, like an HBO version of kind of Hour Man's life. And I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. It was funny, interesting characters. I really liked it.
It was definitely hilarious. Maybe it's a spoiler, but there is a cockman and tit girl in this, and you know what? That was a selling point for me. That was really funny. I like the art's actually beautiful. Very very Vertigo style art. Yeah. You know, like classic kind of Vertigo art.
Always reminds me of the guy who did the Filth with Grant Morrison. Chris Westman, I think his name is. Reminds me of his kind of style a little bit. That kind of style. Yeah, but I enjoyed it. It was gritty. Yeah. But not a lot. You know, it's not a lot. Not too much happens in this. Kind of introduces everybody, and you know, he gets like his
his powers or whatever happens. There is like some beautiful like trippy art in this comic that you'll enjoy. Otherwise, yeah, it was good. I'd definitely pick up the second issue.
Yeah, no, I would definitely give the second issue a try. Yeah. Definitely worth your time. I would give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I would go with that. Okay. So, without further ado, we have Dark Knight 3, The Master Race, the first issue by Frank Miller, Azzarello.
Anytime someone says The Master Race, I get a little nervous.
Well, you don't have to be too nervous about this one. Honestly, it was I was expecting much considering Frank Miller lately, but I guess Azzarello was doing a good amount of this writing. It was pretty good. It obviously deals with Dark Knight returning yet again, and I always get like this feeling like it has like this. It's gonna take on this theme of like police brutality, and like it looks like the Dark Knight is coming back to fight the cops, maybe corrupt cops or just cops in general. I don't know. I guess we'll find we'll find out in coming issues. Kind of sets everything up. The cliffhanger is pretty good. Yeah. We get an appearance from like Wonder Woman and some other, and a couple other like things I don't want to spoil for you. But overall, great book. It has its normal Frank Miller-esque art. Yeah,
I mean it's not Frank Miller doing most of the art. It's Andy Kubert, but Andy Kubert sort of like
he's
makes
like
the characters look like Frank Miller.
There is a certain super character in this book who looks like she's missing a certain super chromosome. She looks like she had the super downs. But other than that, it's good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, I liked it. There's it's actually like a special little ash can comic in the middle featuring the Atom.
Yeah.
And that one's actually drawn by Frank Miller. But just so you know, you should read that after you read the main book. Because if you don't, it will spoil like the ending of the main book.
Yeah.
But it's a nice looking book. Andy Kubert's art's pretty good. Yeah. I'm interested where it's going because they also introduced like the battle city of Kandor into it.
Right. Yeah.
With Superman's daughter and Wonder Woman's daughter. And it was good. I thought it started a little slow. I don't think they got to like the main point. They was like, okay, here's Batman and here's Wonder Woman. I think they could have gone to like the main story a little faster.
Well, how many issues is this going to be? This is like quite a few, or no?
I think it's like 4 or 5.
Oh, really?
I don't think it's.
I saw so many variant covers. I was assuming.
Yeah, no. But there are 25 variant covers, but I think there's only like 4 or 5 issue.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess I was a little slow for a first issue, but still, all things considered, I expected a lot worse, and I got more than I expected, so I was happy with it. Overall, I'd probably give it 7 out of 10 Lugos.
Okay, our last book for this Thanksgiving week show is Venom Space Knight #1. This is by Robbie Thompson and Ariel Olivetti on art. And it's a good first issue. It's almost like a pilot for like a sci-fi show. Yeah. The art by Ariel Olivetti is like very much like one of those European like heavy metal sci-fi kind of art.
It's beautiful.
And it fits it perfectly.
Yeah, it's great.
And it's definitely piqued my interest. Robbie Thompson is also he does Silk, and I think he's doing another Spider-Man book. And Silk has been one of the stronger of the Spider-Man like spin-offs. But this is a really good strong start. It gives Venom, Flash Thompson Venom a chance to shine away from the Guardians of the Galaxy, away from the Spider-Man characters, and I liked it.
I liked it. I didn't expect. This is another book. This is a book I certainly didn't expect to come in and really like, but it caught me by surprise. It was good. It was funny. It was charming. I liked some of the characters that he introduces, there's a little robot called Able 3 he introduces. Very funny. Flash Thompson is doing a fantastic job as Venom. Also very charming. I was surprised. I was just surprised at the amount of charm that he gave him. Yeah. Very charming.
He's a very charming guy. He's very charming.
I wanna get together with this dude and have dinner because I'm charmed. Not like a witch, not like 3 witches, but I'm charmed like right.
Like a nice candlelit dinner.
I don't want to get.
Nothing too fancy.
I don't want to go too far this date, but just dinner and movie. I feel like I'm
just test the water. Just test the water.
Put me in this man's arms. That was good.
I would give it 8 out of 10 Lugos. It was a good strong start. Well worth your time. And that's it for us for this Thanksgiving episode of Cbfu from the Shop. Go out, buy some comics, eat some turkey, eat some pie, eat some mashed potatoes.
But don't eat some turkey and then read comics.
You're going to mess up the comics. Right? You're going to ruin them completely. But have a good time, and we'll see you next week. Have a good one.